Up here at our deer camp, getting our spring and summer food plots planted. It's May 19th today. I came up May 1st. Sprayed everything with a combination of glyphosate and 2,4-D. And then came up again about a week ago to till everything. Got everything tilled. Gave that glyphosate 2,4-D to it. So I came up. When I till, I do a real shallow tilling. It's real shallow. So I'm just basically cutting up the first layer of soil, not going too deep. I seem to have the best results doing that. But what I like to do, basically like to do it in three stages. So I'll do an initial treatment of glyphosate and 2,4-D. Let that sit, let those chemicals do their work for about a week. But then come up and till, and then give it about another week or so, and then come back and spray it again, and then plant my seed. So I give it at that time, because after you till, essentially, obviously, what you're doing is you're bringing up some additional weed seeds that were not exposed to the first treatment. And so you bring them, once you till, you bring those to the surface, and then they wind up germinating. And so that's why I like to kind of space it out and do another spraying after I till. This way, it kind of alleviates that weed competition when you plant. So like I said, I do 3 stages: 2,4-D glyphosate first. Give it about a week and a half or so for the chemicals to work, and then do my tilling. And then after I till, give it about another week or so, and then spray again. But when I spray the second time, I'm just going to spray glyphosate, just because that 2,4-D will stay in the soil. So that's why that's spraying. It's just glyphosate. So that's what we're doing today. Doing our second spraying. What I'll do is I'll spray. Gotta let that dry off for a while, and then I'll come back and plant. And then we should be good to go. I'm gonna be planting. Well, I'll go over more when I plant, but I like to plant. I've been using it for the last couple of years and have had real good success with it. But it's Nitro Boost from Vitalize Seed. And it's basically a 2-part system that I plant. So the essentially the Nitro Boost is the first step. So that's going to be your spring and your summer planting. And essentially what that's doing is, the stuff that you're planting in this. I guess you got to kind of look at it as, what I plant in the spring, summer. I'm not necessarily planting it so much to feed the deer. I'm more or less planting it more so to feed the soil in preparation for my fall planting, right? So the Nitro Boost is kind of setting the stage for your fall planting. So step 1 is the Nitro Boost. So I'll plant that, let that go until around Labor Day, and then Labor Day I'll come in, treat it with glyphosate, and then do another shallow tilling, and then plant the carbon load, which is step 2. And then the carbon load, that's basically your fall planting. So like I say, essentially, the concept is, your spring summer planting is basically setting the stage and prepping the soil for your fall planting. And it's a real good system. I've been using it for now, I think this is going on my fourth year of using carbon load, or the Vitalize Seed Nitro Boost and carbon load. And real good. So through these series of videos, I'll kind of keep tabs on the food plots, and kind of show the steps that I take. Unfortunately, I missed tilling last week and spraying the week before, but it is what it is. and then just kind of show progress throughout the course of the year on how the plots are doing. So it'll be good. So these are 3 plots here that we're working on. These are destination plots, if you will. I got about right around 2 acres. I got 3 different plots, and these plots here, we don't hunt over them. Essentially, it's just a constant unpressured food source for the deer. It's like I say, it's an area we try to avoid when we come in. When you're entering or exiting our stands, when the property is set up. Our entrances and our exits are kind of designed to kind of avoid this area, just so that there's not a lot of human pressure. Just so this way the deer feel comfortable coming out here. And then there's a larger ag field right across the street. And so what these deer typically do, they'll move out of the bedding area, which is kind of in the center of the property. We have a couple smaller food plots strategically placed as hunting plots that we do hunt over, and those are kind of in between the destination plots and the bedding areas. But the kind of the pattern of movement is coming from the center of the property, working their way to these destination plots. They'll kind of stage in here until dark, and then they'll move across the street to the ag field. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good system. I mean, the only unfortunate thing is that where the destination plots here are, is they're a little close to our camp, but it kind of is what it is. And then I'll get spraying. The spraying rates that I do is I'll do 2 quarts per acre of glyphosate, and then 1 pint per acre of 2,4-D, and that'll be my initial spraying. Second spraying that I do is just glyphosate, and that's what I'm doing here. So it's just 2 quarts per acre of glyphosate. say, we'll give it a few hours and then come back and plant. All right, so I got everything sprayed yesterday. Actually gave it an extra day because the fields were a little wet, and it was real nice yesterday and pretty breezy. So I wanted to give it a little bit more time, let the fields kind of dry out a little bit. But so I'm gonna start seeding. So like I said, I'm using the Vitalize Seed. It's got it's got 14 different plant species in it. It's this is my fourth year using this, and super happy with it. But anyway, so what I'll do is I'll get everything spread, get everything seeded, and then run over it with a drag. I do have a roller that I can go over top of it, but the issue is my hose got messed up from over the winter time, so I can't use my pump to fill the roller with water. So I'll see what it looks like. What I may wind up doing is after I drag, since I don't have the roller to kind of pack everything down, I might just run over it with either the four wheeler or the side by side and just kind of firm everything up and stamp everything down. Supposed to be getting, I think we got 90% chance of rain tomorrow and the following day. So pretty good timing. It's actually pretty overcast today. So hopefully the rain will be moving in, and yeah. So hopefully we should get some pretty solid germination. Then I'm also going to put down some white clover and a clover chicory mix on the food plot down below, the lower food plot. Just kind of around the perimeter. I'm going to plant some clover in there, and then I also have basically a woods, I guess you would call it a food plot trail, if you will, coming out of the bedding area. Basically comes out of the bedding area and then wraps around and kind of comes down towards these destination food plots, just kind of steer that movement. We'll see how it turns out. But yeah, in any event, we'll get seeding. This seed also comes with an inoculant, basically to kind of promote germination. It's pretty messy, unfortunately, but the way I typically do it is I'll put half the bag. I put half the bag in the hopper, then I'll put half the inoculant on, mix it around as much as I can, and then put the other half in. other thing I do too when I put my seed out, so what I'll do is I'll split it in half or whatever the amount is. So, for instance, this plot here, it's getting 2 bags of seed. So what I'll do is I'll split that in half, and then the first bag I'll spread north south, and then the second bag I'll spread east west. This way, it just helps you get a better coverage and better seed dispersion. So, like I was saying before, this plot here, I'm also going to add the 2 corners and a strip just on the opposite side of the apple trees. I'm just going to add some clover in here as well. This is clover and chicory. This is the Northwoods clover blend with clover and chicory. And then this is from Merit Seed. This is a Dutch white clover. So we'll put them in as well. Whenever I seed clover, because it's such a tiny seed, I prefer to use a bag spreader or a hand spreader. You just have a little more control over it, and you don't wind up dumping all your seed where you don't want it. These 2 plots, 2 more to go, and then we'll drag everything with the harrow drag. Well, that should pretty much do it for this plot. I think what I'll do is, I think what I'll probably wind up doing is grabbing the side-by-side, because that's a little heavier than the ATV is. And I'll bring that down and then just kind of run over it and kind of pack everything down a little bit. And like I say, hopefully we, fingers crossed, we get this rain that they're predicting. So should give us some really good germination. So. But that should do it. That should do us for this plot. And we'll head over and drag the other 2.
Well, that should about do us. Got everything planted, got everything harrow dragged. Hopefully we get this rain tomorrow. Like I said, I think there was like last time I checked, I think there was like a 95% chance of rain tomorrow and the following day. So that'll certainly kickstart the germination for sure. So we do still got to plant that woods road with the clover, but that won't take long at all. So, but that should pretty much do us. So this is that clover trail that I want to plant. Basically comes out of this bedding area. We've got about 2.5, 3 acres that we thinned out pretty aggressively, all coming back real nice and thick. And then about 50 yards or so beyond that, just on the other side of this little ridge right here, is about a 6.5, 7 acre clear cut that was done several years back. And so this is we're kind of centrally located in the center of the property here. And this is kind of the concept of that, inside out property, where your security cover and your bedding areas are kind of located in the center portion of the property, and then kind of your food plots are on the perimeter. And so that's kind of how the property is set up. Deer tend to bed in here and then work their way out towards the destination food plots, and then across the street to that ag field, and then they hit the kill plots along the way. And so this little food plot trail here, or clover trail, what have you, just kind of encouraging the movement right on through here. And then there's a couple stand locations along the way that you can hunt different winds on, and just kind of funnel that movement right on down through here, and just kind of make it a little bit more predictable. So yeah, I hope. I don't have super high hopes for this clover, just because of the amount of shade that's in here. I mean, it does get some intermittent sunlight, in spots. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it gets enough sunlight that we'll get some decent growth in here, but we'll see. Well, that should about do us. All that's left now is I'll come in here with the ATV and just kind of drive this trail and just kind of pack that seed down, just to get a little better seed to soil contact, and hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully we get this rain the next couple of days that they were predicting. So Other than that, that should do us for this trip up. Got a lot done, so super stoked about that. Yeah, I'm a that Vitalize seed that I started using. Super happy with that stuff. Like I say, I started using that about 4 years ago, and I couldn't be happier with it. Get some really excellent results. The deer really like it, but really most importantly is the amount of money that I save on fertilizer. I mean, I fertilized the plots the first year that I used that. When I changed over from what I was using, I limed and fertilized, and that was 4 years ago, and I haven't limed or fertilized since. Take a soil sample every year, and each year, the test results are super good. I mean, basically the way that the way that 1-2 system works, where what you're planting in the spring and the summer is just feeding the soil for your fall planting to benefit from. So couldn't be happier with it. So what I'll do is I'll let that go throughout the spring and the summer, and then terminate the Nitro Boost right around Labor Day. And then what I'll do is I'll hit it with glyphosate, kind of nuke everything, and then hit it with the tiller. Set my tiller real shallow, just so I'm just kind of scuffing up the surface, just kind of exposing some soil and breaking up the leftover crop from the Nitro Boost. And then I'll plant the carbon load right into that, and then we'll be set. The other thing that I'll do also, so my kill plots, I've got four kill plots on the property. I don't really do anything with them in the spring and the summer. I just kind of let them go, and then same time, when I plant the carbon load, I'll plant my kill plots. I'll probably work on them and get them ready, get them prepped in August, middle part towards the end of August. I'll spray them, and then till what I can, and just have them ready. And then right around September, I'll plant them when I plant the carbon load. But yeah, I'll kind of update this video. I think next time I get back up here, probably be about a week and a half, 2 weeks or so. So kind of see what kind of germination we got, and like I say, hopefully we get this rain that they're predicting, and we get some good germination, get some good growth, and have some solid food plots for the remainder of the spring and the summer. So cool. That's it for now, and yeah, like I say, I'll update this video in about a week and a half, 2 weeks or so next time I get back up here. So.